Mike again. As you may or may not realize this, but this is the third video on one day. So I do little blocks every so often. So just bear with me. Today, I want to talk to you about admitting you have T1D. Is it as cut and dry as we like? I'm not sure. Let's go and we'll be right back and we'll discuss. Stay tuned. I knew 48 years ago I had diabetes. It's a little hard to fathom that a young kid wouldn't realize that they have diabetes. But did I really let this guy know up here? It took me a while to really kind of grow up and live a life that worked with diabetes. I would usually get up, take my insulin. Sometimes I'd eat, sometimes I wouldn't. I'd just go to work. I'd work nights, as we discussed in the last video. And I would eat the junk food at work. I was not the model diabetic. Now, if I went to the doctor, oh yes, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to. Yeah, not quite. And I thought, you know what? I'm really pulling one over on the doctors. But I wasn't. They knew. I'd play little games like they would say, before you come see me, get this blood work done. And in this blood work was always that little hemoglobin A1C, which I always thought was the report card. So a lot of times, oh gee, I totally forgot to get my blood work done. If I had to go see the endo after being in the hospital, I would still be playing the game after, oh, I'm going to follow my protocol, but it never really stuck. This guy in here was still playing games with my diabetes. And if you're at that state with your diabetes, it's time, get out of there as soon as possible. Admit, yes, you're a diabetic. Yes, you have to take care of yourself. But just sitting there, going through the motions, but not really learning anything. I had a whole bunch of information. I still have a whole bunch of information. But I wasn't putting it into practice. Now, for about 30 years, 30 some odd years, I have been putting into practice. I could go to the doctor's office. I I got really into this that I would get this big binder and I would print Mike's diabetes, and I'd have sheets of blood sugars, and I would write little graphs and little treatment, why I decided to do this treatment. I may have gone the other way, but I think it came from me waking up and saying, you know what? You are a diabetic, Mike, and you need to start taking care of yourself. I was 24, 25 when I started to realize that I had to start taking care of myself. Now, does that mean since that time, everything has gone so smoothly? Hell no. If it would have, do you think I'd be here? Do you think I'd be bedridden and learning how to do stuff? No. I think you just do the best with what you have. But you have to put in the work. You're going to find complications are going to suddenly pop up out of the blue. My first big complication I had was diabetic retinopathy, which, thank goodness, I got treated as, and we haven't had a recurrence. I haven't had a bleed. Doesn't mean I won't in the future, but I really haven't had a bleed or anything. Next, I got diabetes, foot condition called Charcot's foot. Look it up, it's quite an interesting. Don't have heart issues. I lost a kidney, which I think probably had something to do with diabetes. But this was sort of, the eyes weren't, but everything else after that was when I really started to take care of myself and admit I have diabetes. How did I come to this sudden conclusion? Is I got a endocrinologist who really cared. And she saw through my little veils of hiding behind, oh, I forgot. Oh, well, you were called by my office. You were told to go do it. It's your responsibility to be ready. And I started to, and we went through a few years of trying to control my diabetes, and I did everything she asked, and we were still having issues. But it kind of got to me, oh, I'm not really hiding anything from anyone. That, yes, I am a diabetic. My treatment plans are a little different than some, but they're things that end up working for me. Little example. I had a diabetic service dog. Now, is there a decisive date that I started taking care of myself? I could give you roughly a year, but that's about it. Now, I kind of have to take a look at things from someone who could be like a alcoholic, and was not an alcoholic, but I would go into the hospital. I would come out of the hospital. I'd go, oh, I'm gonna do everything the same as they are in the hospital. I'm gonna do things right. And then, I don't know, a week, maybe 5 days, life got in the way again. So nothing really stood. When I went to see my endocrinologist, I got to see her on a regular basis, we kind of said, well, how are things going to work for you? Sounds like something I say to you now, doesn't it? And she said, you need to do this, this, and this, or don't bother coming to see me because you're not taking your diabetes serious. And up to that point, someone would have told me that, I would have hid. I wouldn't have gone back to them. It just, something switched, I guess. I really saw something. She became my greatest ally. If I had to go into the hospital again, she fought for me. When she decided she was going to go teach more than be as an endocrinologist, that was awesome. And I got on to another really excellent endocrinologist. But if I had done that reversed, I probably would still be playing mind games about diabetes. And I get accused every now and again, oh, well, you're not doing things by the book. You gave yourself extra insulin. And I said, no, I'm doing, the machines give me the extra insulin. So, if you know that you're doing right, that's the important thing. If your endo and your GP know that you are trying to do the best, that's the best. But that's when you truly know that you have diabetes and you've admitted to yourself. That can be the hardest conversation to have, is a conversation to yourself about having diabetes. Like, hey, listen, you've got to take care of yourself. For years, I knew I had it, but I never took care of myself. With that, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye now. My email address is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. All one line. Drop me